So, decided to take a little trip down to Manotick Village today. One of the first nice spring days, beautiful, 20 degrees, sunny, on and off. But so starting out at the Nepean Sportsplex, which is behind me, and that's kind of at the corner of Hunt Club and Woodruff if you need to make your way here from downtown. And heading south through Barrhaven, down to Manotick, we'll see what we see. Hi friends, welcome back to Bytown by Bike. Today we're taking a little ride down south of Ottawa to a historic little village called Manotick. We'll kick off our ride along this commuter pathway which runs parallel to Woodruff Avenue heading south towards Barrhaven. From there we'll hop over to River Road which should take us right down into the town centre of Manotick. After bopping around the village for a little bit, we'll head back north towards Ottawa via Prince of Wales Drive. Oh hey, look, a chickadee. All told, from where I live in Ottawa, this is around a 40k round trip, so a good way to spend the afternoon, not too arduous. Now, aside from being a good place for an afternoon hang, Manotick is known for its historic, quaint, and family-friendly charms. Now, there are attractions like Watson's Mill or the Dickinson House Museum, but apart from anything else, it's really known for great access to the Rideau River, nice restaurants, that kind of stuff. Now, don't get me wrong, Manotick itself is definitely a worthy destination, but I will say this route to me is a little bit of a mixed bag. Now, I'll add a caveat that this is just my opinion and based on my own preferences, so others might have a totally different opinion on this, but I do think the section starting off this ride is almost a highlight. Now, despite the fact that you're going by a really busy kind of main artery road in Ottawa, Woodruff Avenue, on the other side of you, you're driving right past the Greenbelt. So you've got these beautiful forests, a lot of the pathway is tree-lined, there's farmers' fields, there's birds and other things going on, it's nice. And as you approach Barrhaven, there's actually this cool little farm that you can drive up to. There's a little side pathway that takes you right in there. Oh, look, a horsey. Now, I've said it before and I'll say it again, this is one real plus for Ottawa. You find these like spaces that are super close to the populated suburbs or even downtown that just make you feel like you're in the country. It's kind of relaxing. It's good for the vibes. Now, a big part of the reason for that is that Ottawa Centre is surrounded by this kind of giant greenbelt that's like 20,000 hectares of farms, forests, wetlands, you name it, that kind of separates Ottawa proper from its suburbs. Speaking of suburbs, as we enter Barrhaven, we're greeted by a speeding pickup truck with Trudeau flags on it. Now, it might be an unpopular opinion in some circles, and certainly no shade to anyone who's conservative or NDP, liberal, agnostic, whether you drive a pickup truck or a Volvo, I don't care. This is not a political channel, nor will it ever be. But I will say as a parent and as someone who kind of sees politeness as a matter of national identity, if you're driving around with a anybody flag on your car, you might just consider taking a beat, taking some time to think about sex and travel and its implications for everybody, and let's just calm down a bit and everyone can be buds, you know? Okay, back to the ride. So anyways, we just passed through Barrhaven, and I gotta say, despite the fact that the roads were quite busy, I really appreciate the fact that there's some dedicated bike lanes. It's very clearly marked, although it's not fully separated. It felt pretty safe despite being like 4 lanes of traffic. In fact, it kind of felt safer than River Road, which was just 2 lanes of traffic, but a lot of people speeding, kind of uncomfortable just riding on the shoulder a little bit here and there. Anyway, after turning onto Bridge Street, we make our way onto Long Island and further into the town of Manotick itself, on the majestic shores of the beautiful Rideau River. Now, as we make our way towards the town center, you might be asking yourself, what about the history of Manotick? Well, I've got you covered. Like so many other small towns in Ontario centered around rivers, Manotick got its start in around 1860 as a mill town. Now, this was directly following the development of the Long Island locks of the Rideau Canal in the 1850s, which provided the necessary water power for the industry to thrive. It was founded by 2 men in partnership, Moss Kent Dickinson and Joseph Currier, who had acquired the water rights to build mills. Shortly thereafter, they named their settlement Manotick, which means island in the river in Ojibwa. Now, as I mentioned off the top, if you find yourself in Manotick and you're interested, you can learn an awful lot more about the early history of the town by visiting the Watson's Mill or the Dickinson House Museum. This includes some spooky stories about the mill being haunted by Currier's wife Anne, who had died in a tragic accident. Anyway, following its industrial peak during its milling heyday, Manotick experienced a pretty significant decline as river transport was pretty much replaced by rail. This lasted throughout kind of the mid-20th century until around the 1970s when Manotick really had another boom as a suburb of Ottawa, became kind of a bedroom community. Now, although I'm doing this ride in sort of mid-late spring, I'd actually recommend coming for a visit in the summertime. Something about being on the river in the heat, lots of sunshine, it's a good vibe. Now, if food and drink are more your thing, Manotick has a couple good things on offer. You can check out the Mill Tavern or the Black Dog Bistro, for example. Both are kind of local staples. Now, on the way home, I decided to take Prince of Wales Drive, which I gotta say was really busy, a ton of traffic, kind of unpleasant, didn't love it. However, I did stumble upon this. I had been there before, but kind of forgot it existed. This is called the Black Rapids opposite locks. Now, of course, this is part of the broader Rideau Canal lock system, which includes the more central locks like Hartwell locks or Hogsback locks. But I mean, I feel like this is a little bit overlooked compared to those, maybe because it's a little out of the way from downtown. Anyways, there's really nice lawns, nice places to sit and chill, maybe have a picnic, nice little shoreline. You saw that cute little dock. I'd recommend popping in if you're biking down Prince of Wales. It's a nice place to take a break. Now, as I wrap up today's ride, I'll take this opportunity to say thanks very much for watching. If you liked what you saw or found this at all interesting, please consider liking, subscribing, commenting, sharing with a friend, all of that good stuff. Until next time, thanks again for watching. Ride well, friends.